Hi guys, how we going? Welcome back, and today we're going to be doing an oil change on the Charade. Alrighty, so what you need for an oil change, it's pretty simple really. When you're just doing an engine oil change, all you need is the filter to suit, which we went and bought from Super Cheap Auto to Ryco, and some oil. In this case, 5 weight 40, which is what's recommended for the Daihatsu Charade HC engine 1.3. It takes roughly around 5 litres, but we'll see how much it actually takes because I don't know how accurate that is. But yeah, so let's get to it. Alrighty, so we've got the hood up, and now we are able to see, well, obviously, that's where your oil goes in your engine, under that, and down there is the oil filter. So, first of all, before we take any oil out of the vehicle, we want to check that it's the right filter, otherwise that won't be very good. So that's a Z386, and that matches what we got. So, now we're safe to go ahead, but to make this a lot easier, I'm going to put the car up on ramps so that I can actually get underneath it, as this car, although factory height, sits quite low. So we'll put her up on ramps. Alrighty, so as you can probably hear, I've left the car running, and the reason for that being is just because I don't drive it and I haven't noticed it to drive, the engine's cold, and when you're doing an oil change, it helps to have the oil slightly hotter as the viscosity is thinner, so it'll just drain out better. So I'm not going to let it get hot because otherwise it just makes it hard to get oil out, but just getting a bit of heat in the oil will help, just with getting all that old dirty oil out, which I don't know how long it's been there for. Could be good, could be bad, don't know, find out. So, also, another tool that's really handy when you're doing an oil change is something like this. So you can get different versions that are like a ratchet clamp, but this one's basically just a bit of box section that's got a bit of seatbelt attached to it. It is actually a bought tool, but you can make them. And basically it just wraps around your oil filter, as you'll see when I do it, and you use that to undo it. If you don't have something like this, they can be very hard to get undone. So, simple tool, but very handy to have when doing an oil change. Alrighty, so just went and grabbed one of these oil drain buckets, whatever you call it. You don't have to buy one either, you can just use any sort of bucket. These do work better because they'll hold your oil filter. But we'll just undo this sump bung and get it draining.
Yuck. Looks pretty good though. Like, it's dirty, but you can't see any granules in it or anything, so it's not metallic-y, so that's good. I'm just gonna go wash my hand.
Okay, so while that's draining, we can go ahead and take off the oil filter. So yeah, see how I've just looped that around there? Make sure you do it in the right direction, so lefty-loosey. Wind it up a little bit. Slide it over. And get it tight. And you just hook up your 1/2 inch to the end of it. And the head is nice and hot. And then you just turn. And I've got the ratchet around the wrong way. There you go. And then you just slide the belt over a bit more, do it again.
And there you go, it's loose. That's it. Alrighty, so time to open up the new filter. Looks pretty good. So, when you're putting a new oil filter on, well, first you get plastic off. There we go. So, it is important that before you screw it on, you get some of the old oil, doesn't really matter, just a little bit, and rub it on, see this rubber seal here? You're gonna rub some of that old oil just on the seal. And that is so that you'll be able to get it off this time. Otherwise it'll seal too well and you won't get it off. And it'll cause big problems. So yeah, lightly around that seal, and then you're good to put it back on. And you just wipe it on your feet. Okay, so we've got the sump bung back in, we've got the new oil filter in. Now it's time to put some new oil in it. So we can take this off. I'm going to wipe around there because that's pretty crusty. So I'll just go grab a tea towel to wipe that down, and then we'll put some new oil in. Okay, so we'll start filling it up with some oil and try and get this so that I won't spill it everywhere. Okay, so just got the dipstick out, cleaned it up with a rag. We'll see how much oil is in there. So you got to make sure you push it all the way down as far as it'll go. And so I could probably take a little bit more. So we'll probably put in another ½ litre, which will bring it to the full mark, and it'll suck in a bit into the oil filter. Yeah. Alrighty, so just hopping inside the car. The most important thing after you've done an oil change is this light right here. That's your oil light. When you start that, you want to make sure that turns off pretty quickly. If it doesn't turn off, you need to shut the engine off straight away. Look at that, instantly. That's great. So we'll let it run for a little bit, circulate the oil, and then we'll check it. Alrighty, so we'll just check what the oil level's gone down to. Wipe up. Beautiful, just under full. So that's good enough. Doesn't have to be exactly full because it's still cold. Alrighty guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed us running through how to do a quick oil change on your car. And we'll catch you next week. Catch you later.